Welcome back, everybody. My name is BluJay, and we are back once again in our survival world over here at our iron farm. Now, if you haven't seen the episode where we built this yet, I would encourage you to pause this right now and go back and watch that again, because I'm not going to do a whole lot of explaining on how this iron farm works, but we're going to be doing some upgrades and making it a little bit better. One of the things that we already did off camera was the boxes up at the top there that you see on the sides where the villagers are held. We extended those out one block each direction. And the reason we did that is because our villagers were glitching out of the walls. So, enough of that. What we're going to be doing today is upgrading our storage area. It's not that great, and it's not, super easy to access right now. So, let me gather up some supplies, and we'll get started with our build. Actually, before we get started today, we are over here in the blacksmith shop at our project wall, and we need to update this because we finished our horse stables, so we're going to take that down. That is no longer a project that we need, and the wither boss fight. We did that in the last episode, so if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. It was pretty intense. So now what we're going to add up here is the iron farm storage. You know what? Let me move that down to the center. Iron farm storage. Perfect. Okay, and the other thing we want to add, this was a suggestion from one of my subscribers who left a comment on a video a while back. We're going to build some watchtowers at some point. That is officially on the project wall. It's on the radar, something we're going to do. Not sure how soon, but it's on there. So, awesome. Our project wall is up to date, and we are ready to move on to what we're going to be building today. So we are in my creative testing world, and you guys actually haven't seen this before, so I just want to give you a little look around. As you can see, I've got a lot of things in here that we have built, and look, there's part of the horse stable that we did in the last, well, not the last episode, a couple episodes ago. If you look around here, you can see that I either partially built or completely built or just tested out something like here's a sample floor for the blacksmith shop, and there's our massive furnace that we built, and over here is like our base hallway and all this kind of stuff. I basically build as much as possible in a testing world before I ever create it in a survival world, because I don't want to spend a lot of time, testing out different resources and looks and feels and all of that kind of stuff. You can see this is our auto smelter we built for the blacksmith shop. It's just, it feels like a waste of time if I'm gathering resources in survival and, I'm not going to use them. So if I gather like cobblestone and I'm like, I don't like cobblestone with this build, now I've wasted all that time gathering cobblestone. So to get rid of that problem, I build it all in a creative world and make sure I like the look, the design, the feel, all of that before we do any actual resource gathering and building in our survival world. So let's hop back over here to this little build right here. And if you don't know what it is already, this is an auto sorting system for a storage system. And we have a slot for emeralds and a slot for diamonds and a slot over here for overflow. And basically up here is our input chest. You can see all the redstone back behind here, and I'll explain all this in just a second. This is our input chest, and it'll run the items down this distribution line. And these two hoppers right here are the places that it will be sorted, and then this line underneath will run them into the chests. And so how this works is this redstone torch right there stops that hopper from distributing into the chest. It blocks everything from flowing into it until the correct item comes along, which for this chest it would be diamonds. And for this chest, it would be emeralds. They're both empty right now. And any overflow, any items that don't match the sorting system will overflow into this chest. So, if we have junk and things like that we don't really want to sort out, we can just send them on to, a consolidated chest. So let's throw all of these in here. And we don't have a sorting area for iron blocks or hoppers just yet, so hopefully those will go into our overflow. As you can see, that torch has shut off because the correct item has passed that hopper, and it is now flowing into our chest. So look, awesome. All of those emeralds are going up, and as soon as the emeralds are done, the next thing in line should be diamonds, and so our diamond chest should start filling up. So let's wait on this. 62 items, perfect. And awesome, we've got our diamonds. And as you can see, they are funneling out down the hopper line. You can see them clicking past there. Awesome. And let me just show you how this works. Oop, I clicked on the wrong hopper. So as you can see, I've got diamonds and stone blocks in there. And I'll explain the stone blocks in just a second. Oh, we've got iron coming through now, so it should be onto the overflow chest. Let's hop down here and make sure that's working. Awesome. So we should see our iron blocks and our hoppers flowing into that chest. We've got 62 of each. That's perfect. And nothing in these other chests. They passed on by because there's nothing there to sort through. Awesome. And nothing in the top chest. So that's important. The way that hoppers work is they will automatically flow down to the bottommost chest, or bottommost hopper, that is, and fill that chest before they will fill the chest above it. Okay, so let's wait here and make sure we get 64 hoppers. Perfect. All right, so our sorting system is working flawlessly. This is awesome. So let's hop back up here, and I want to explain to you guys these two hoppers right here. So you can see I've numbered these, and you can rename cobblestone pretty much to anything that you would like, or not cobblestone, this is regular stone. You can rename any block in the game. Stone is probably the most common, or cobblestone is the most common item that you can get. You need 21 of a particular item, and then 1 of your item that you want sorted. And so since that stone is renamed, if stone actually passes through here, it's not going to pick it up and throw it in the hopper because it's been renamed. So essentially, it's an item filter that is just a throwaway. So I would encourage you to use for your item filter something that's a fairly easy resource to gather. So hopefully that all makes sense to you guys. All right, so what we're doing now is we are prepping our iron storage area by dropping the drop shaft down a few blocks, because right now they land all the way up top on top of the mountain, and we want them to fall through the mountain towards the bottom, where we can build a nice, pretty decent sized storage area. It's not going to be huge, but it's going to be more than enough than we're ever going to need in this survival world. So for now, let's go back up top for a second. I need to grab that chest and those hoppers up there because I need them to collect all of the iron once we move this drop shaft down. While we're building our sorting system, we don't want them to just fill the hoppers up. So let's break all this stuff. We'll take everything out of here first so it doesn't accidentally get burned up in that lava up there. And we'll grab our hoppers. And I think one of them fell down into the system. Well, there goes 2. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take this stone and we're going to fill in this area just so it's one solid drop shaft all the way down. We don't want our golems to accidentally get trapped somewhere they're not supposed to be. Oh, hello, Mr. Iron Golem. You guys can see it's still working pretty efficiently. We need to collect our lava, but we need to get rid of some of this stuff. We'll throw them into the hoppers for now. Okay. We got our lava. Now, let's grab our trapdoors. All right. And we'll grab our chests. I'm not super concerned about... Oops. My storage is full. I'm not super concerned about the poppies because we're probably not going to use a whole lot of them. So we're honestly not going to have very much storage for poppies. Most of our storage sorting system is going to be for iron because that's the more valuable resource. So let's go ahead and fill this in and hop on back down. And, oh, hello, Iron Golem. Oh, you're not being friendly right now. I'm going to have to take care of you. Man, these guys take so long. Okay, good. Oh, hi. There's another one. We need to really block this in so they can't get out. And gotcha. Okay, so all of this stuff that I'm doing now is pretty much covered in the Iron Farm episode. So if you want to see how this is done, you can go back and watch that, and I'll link it in the description. But for now, I'm gonna kind of finish this up, and when we're ready to do something new, I'll explain what we're doing next. All right, so that sorting system that you saw in the creative world, we're going to start working on that. And what we need for that project are hoppers and repeaters and comparators and redstone torches. And we also need our chests. So that is pretty much all we're going to need for the mechanics of this. And where we're going to start is by destroying this holding chest that we just built. We're ready to start actually building the sorting system, so that's okay. They can sit in that hopper for a second. But we're going to start digging this out up here, and we're going to build our distribution line all the way down to the end here. And we want to make sure we go this direction because the hoppers need to be running towards that side. Towards that side of the room. If we build it the other direction, then they won't distribute in the correct way. Perfect. So as you can see, all these hoppers are running into each other from right to left. And that's the way we want it to go, because the drop shaft is on the right, and we want it to distribute all the way through the room, all the way across our storage area. The next thing that we need to do is we need to build our item filter hopper line. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to have them face forward like that. I'm only going to build one of these modules because I really want to be able to explain how they work, and that would take too long if I built all of them on camera. So we'll put a hopper underneath facing forward, just like that, because we want it to run forward to where our chests are going to be, and our chests are going to be right here at the face of this block at the front. So, oh, look. As you can see, I fixed one of my glitched pieces of armor. I did that by grabbing another diamond helmet and just repairing it with it. So I'm going to do that to the rest of my armor set whenever I get the levels to do so, because it's quite expensive. But for now, we're going to run hoppers out of the back of these chests, just like this. And we want them both to be linked. You don't want the hopper on top to be facing down. You want it to face into that chest. And same with that one, because then it'll pull all the way down before filling the chest on top of it. And then once the bottom one is full, the chest on top of that will fill up next, before moving on down the line to the left. On to the redstone part of the build, we need to grab our repeater and run that into this block right here. And then place a torch, not a regular torch, mind you, a redstone torch, right underneath that hopper on that block. And then basically that's going to block everything in until the right item comes along. We need to grab some stone so we can build up one block more on top of that and place our comparator right on top. Come on. I can't jump. I'm at the height limit of this room for the moment. All right. So now we need to grab stone here and place a redstone line right on top of it. And that's it. That is the entire redstone circuit for this sorting system module. So let me get the rest of these built, and I'll show you what it looks like when we are finished. So we've got all of our redstone in place. The sorting system is completely built, but we need to get our filter blocks. So what we need to do in order to do that is to go over here to our anvil station and rename a bunch of these blocks. And I've already done that for quite a few of them, so I'll just do this as a demonstration. You can see one's storage filter, one is stone. So we'll throw this into our anvil and rename it storage filter. You can rename this to anything that you want, but that's just the name that I've... Oh, look! Our anvil broke, and our anvil system is working. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. So like I was saying, you can rename it to anything you want. There is no magic name, as long as it's not another name of another item. Like, if you're going to rename your stone Diamond, you probably shouldn't do that, because there are actual diamonds in the game, and it'll get confused. So name it something that's not in the game, and it should work. So let's run on back down here, and I'll show you how this is going to work. There's our completed storage system. And we'll hop up here to our first module, and we'll drop in 1 iron ingot in the first column, and then we'll drag our 21 blocks across, just like that, and it'll equal out to 21, 6, 5, 5, and 5, just like that. And they all say storage filter, so we know that those blocks are not going to pick up any stone on the way by. It's only going to pick up our iron. And we've already done this with these other modules, as you can see, and what I want to do now is well, let's look at this last one here so you can see. All of these are iron. This last one is poppies. We only want poppies in one module of our storage system because we really don't need that many. We want more iron than anything. So let's go up top to our AFK platform that we built earlier, and we'll make sure that this thing is working. All right, we've got an iron golem in the system. Let's run on down here really quickly before he drops his precious iron, and we'll watch this number go up, hopefully. Yes, it's working. No poppies have come into the system, and we've got poppies over here in this chest. Awesome! So now that we've got our sorting system working and we've got a place to store all of our iron supplies, we can't leave this room looking like it is, because it's basically a giant box cut out of the side of our mountain, and that looks pretty bad. So what we're going to do is basically build this similarly to the rest of our base. We want it to look and feel like the rest of our base. So we're using our spruce logs once again, and the only difference is on the 3x3 sections where we would put our redstone lamps. Instead of using stone or cobblestone or andesite or anything like that as filler blocks around the redstone lamp, because this is an iron storage room, we're going to use iron blocks, and I think that'll look really nice. So let me get some work done on this. Again, this is something that we've covered in another episode. We don't need to do all of the same building techniques and styles in this one. This is basically just to show off the room. So let me get some work done, and I'll show you what we've got in just a little bit. All right, guys, I've got some work done, and look, that looks pretty good. I really like the iron walls there. And as you can see, I've dug us a little bit of a floor area here that we're going to start working on a floor pattern. I do want to show you guys this because this is going to be different from our other floor patterns. It's going to be a lot more simple because this is in the inside of a mountain, so we want it to still feel a little bit like it's in a cave and not necessarily a fully developed room. Yes, it's got, supports and structure and walls and lighting and all of that kind of stuff, but we still want it to feel a little bit mountainous. So we're going to grab our stone and our andesite, and we're actually going to take our andesite and make it into polished andesite. And the way you do that is, if I can remember the crafting recipe, nope, that's not it. I believe it's a 2x2, yes. So we're basically going to grab our polished andesite and make our floor look a little bit more shiny. And it'll really contrast well with our regular stone. Once again, the importance of a creative testing world. I have already built this floor in a testing world, and I really like the way it looks. So I think it'll fit in really nicely here. So now that we've got all that, let's run on back down in and start building our floor. And because we have two different kinds of blocks, we're just going to do an alternating pattern throughout the room. It'll be basically a giant checkerboard. And the reason why this works, in my opinion, because sometimes when you build a checkerboard floor, I don't like it. If it's too contrasty, if it's like a true style checkerboard floor with like a white block and a black block and it's super contrasty, I'm not a huge fan of that a lot of the time. The reason why this works for me is because we're using blocks that are so similar, they just kind of blend together. It gives it enough depth to be interesting, but it's not so much that it's, distracting and hard to look at, because sometimes checkerboard floors can really hurt your eyes. Awesome. This is looking pretty good. Let's finish placing in the rest of these blocks here. And I think we're good to go. So the next thing we're going to work on now is that staircase right there, and I'm going to do some of that off camera for a couple reasons. This episode is already getting a little bit lengthy, and there's still a little bit of work left to do. And I'm actually going out of town in a couple of days, and I would really like to get this done before I leave, because at that point, I'll be gone for the weekend, and if I don't get this out, it's going to be mid to early, or early to mid, if that's how you say it, next week before I get to release another episode, which I've gotten a few comments from you guys saying that you'd like for me to do more episodes more often and release more content and all of that kind of stuff, and I would love to do that. And this is one of the ways that that's going to happen, is sometimes I'm going to have to do some work off camera, and you guys can just see the end result, especially if it's something that's not super crucial to the main part of our build for the day. So let me work on this, and I'll come back to you after we've got a little bit more work done, and we can wrap this episode up relatively soon. So I've done quite a bit of work off camera between the last shot and now, and let's run on up here. This is our AFK platform, and we've got it all walled in with an iron door so nothing can get in while we're standing here waiting for our iron golems to drop and collect the iron resources. So the next thing we need to do is come down here and fix this ceiling, because it looks pretty bad right now, and it's exposed to the air, and we want to shape this mountain around this room as if it's been dug out into the middle of it and not just out of the side of it. So we're basically just going to spam a lot of blocks around here like this and clean it up after we're done. We're using mostly stone for the minute, but we're also going to use some andesite, not polished, regular andesite at this point. And I think that'll help give some contrast and interest and depth to the room. So I've done a lot more work, once again, off camera on this ceiling, and it's looking pretty good. I think we're pretty much done with it. It looks like a roof of a cave and not the roof of, a built room. And it's exactly the feel we're going for, because it's on the inside of the mountain and we really want it to be rugged. So let's throw our iron back in there, because this is our storage area for iron now, at least until we build a massive everything storage system. And I want to hop on up top over here, because I want to show you guys something I unfortunately didn't have time to do in this episode, and I'm probably not going to do on camera, is shape out this mountain. I really need to get it done, and I just don't have time. I'm leaving tomorrow to go out of town, and so this is my last chance to finish up this episode and edit it and get it released for you guys. So I'm going to shape all of this out probably while I'm on the road, and I need to get it done. So unfortunately, you guys probably won't be able to see the process, but I will be sure to showcase this in the next episode so you guys can see all the work that I did while I was out of town, because I want to make sure that I can get something done while I'm unable to record, but I don't want to do anything that's like episode crucial while I'm gone, because if I start, building new things in the world, that's just not fair to you guys, because it's stuff that you really need to see. Unfortunately, guys, it is time for me to wrap this up. I am running down to the wire here, but I'm really happy with the content of this episode and all that we got done today, and I hope you guys are too. You got a little peek under the hood at our creative world to see how I build things before I put them into a survival world, and we did a little bit of redstone, and we did a little bit of a room design, floor design, ceiling design, and I'm really happy with our iron farm. I believe that this iron farm is complete now. If there's anything else you guys would do to it that you want to see and have any great suggestions, I would consider those, but I'm pretty happy with this project as is for the time being. So I need to get running, and I hope to catch you in the next episode. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you liked about this video, what you didn't like, and what you'd like to see in the future. But for now, my name is BluJay. It's been a lot of fun today, and I've got to fly on out of here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.